Well, guys, we're here. Usual digs with the usual crew, except for a very special person, a friend of the show, Dennis Farrow from Wrestling Perspective. What's up, bud? How you doing?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for the invite.
Well, Dennis is always welcome here anytime. So I figured with the crazy weekend that's going to happen, why not talk about all the insanity that's about to ensue? And why not with the head of the World Perspective Order, so to speak. I like that logo, by the way. That's pretty cool.
Thank you very much.
And Aaron's got a new logo too, so I like all that stuff. But first and foremost, we have an announcement to make, sadly. As of right now, there's no confirmation of Ray Callahan being able to continue in this tournament due to him being off on his own. Basically saying he needed a time away from everything. Rob Wilkins has officially won his match at TakeOver 36. So the pickup show today against me was just for fun because if I didn't get called in, I would have been on and it would have been me and Rob doing a prediction show like we used to a long time ago. But the match that now I'm excited for the next round more so than anything is Mr. Dennis Farrow versus Rob Wilkins. Rob is a good guy and Dennis is also. So this is your time to shine. Dennis, tell Rob what you're thinking.
Rob, I'll be honest. Hopefully you're watching this, and I'm sure you're a great, sweet guy. But just know, I'm already looking past you. I mean, you're just a foregone conclusion on my way to the top. So, with that said, right now, you're about on the same level as Drew. You both are just whatever. Drew's out there talking smack to anybody that'll listen. Nobody even cares. It's the worst smack talk ever. Drew, what do you buy? Do you fund like all of Triple H's kids' schooling by yourself? You have the WWE hat, the shirt, the belt, the socks. You have everything. You have your fat heads on the wall. You are the biggest mark out there. Holy cow. Even your catchphrases in your trash talking is ripped off from the WWE. Just once, be original. Don't wear your 1990s snap hat or your stupid sunglasses inside. Oh my gosh. I could go on for 5 more minutes, guys.
Oh, take your time. That promo you did, it definitely deserves the time. So,
holy cow. And it's the same thing. He comes in from the same side perspective every time and slowly turns. It's like, be original. I mean, you either have your mom holding the phone for you, or you're setting it up on like a bunch of encyclopedias that you bought in 1990 alongside your hat. So, dude, just stop making videos. It's not even worth it. You're not going to make it out of what is the third round. Is he even out of the second round? Is he still in the first? Where is he? I don't even know.
His match is Saturday, so we'll find out if the King of All Worlds
is out of the first round yet. He's talking that much smack. I've been sitting in the second round for like a month doing nothing. Oh my God.
And you and Rob will be at Bound for Glory for your match, and that will be awesome considering Rob does cover Impact also, and you are a huge influencer in Impact. So for me, it's one of those things that's going to be awesome just to see two friends enjoy that pay-per-view in general.
No, we're no longer friends until after the matchup. Now we're foes.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like you said, with Drew, you have nothing but, stuff you want to say. And Rob is a really good person at heart anyway. So
I like Rob. In all seriousness, I like Rob. This is going to be a great, fun matchup. I will talk so much crap to him, though, and I want him to do the same. But holy cow, Drew! Someone take away his internet.
Wow. Well, he did have that stipulation: loser leaves town. And
what are you talking about? You know what? You throw that stipulation out when you're in like the championship round or the second round. How about you get out? You're essentially the play-in game, and you're throwing stipulations out. Oh my gosh! Seriously, that's like the curtain jerkers on any show having a loser leave town match.
Speaking of head of the table, are you ready?
Oh, please.
Do you want it side by side?
Look, no, I bring him in with the group. I wonder what WWE shirt he's wearing tonight. Yep, there it is. There it is. You still have the price tag on that shirt?
This is the logo. There.
What's going on here?
Oh, we're just talking about you, baby.
Yeah.
You got a WWE.
I'm so touched.
You have every. Where's your fat head? Show us your fat head in your room.
It's right there.
My what?
Your WWE fat head. You have to have some sort of like Triple H fat head on your wall. Everything. Are those like WWE sanctioned sunglasses?
They are.
Are those are Batista?
Oh my god.
They are. Oh my god, they're on the table.
I was joking about that. I would not be proud of that. This is not a very proud moment for you.
Well, you're not a proud person then, if you're not proud of this, because I actually represent something that matters in this lifetime and in this stratosphere of ours. You see that right there? That is the only title. That is the only title that matters. That crap that's on Throwback Shoulder right now, I don't care about that.
Thank you, anyways, for calling the wicked crazy title crap.
That's Hulk Hogan. And
You want to apologize?
30 years ago, right there.
I think you need to apologize to the title. You really do. You're the one who said you want to be too bad. It's true.
I apologize to the title, not to the person wearing it. So my point is with this thing.
Don't push my buttons today. I'm already pissed off as it is. You already saw the group chat.
I didn't see anything actually. I haven't been around for a little while. So
You must have an Android.
Big Blue right here. Oh, trust me, I do not. That's some garbage right there. This title is the most prestigious title in all of wrestling. I have said that 1,000 times, Dennis Farrell. Okay? Don't think that this means nothing. I have this with pride. I represent the biggest, most important person in all of professional wrestling. My tribal chief, Roman Reigns. You think this
Slug's
is a game?
chomping at the bit.
Do you think this is a game, Dennis? I mean business when it comes to that title that Throwback is wearing on his shoulder right now. That's what this empty space is for. So that this way, this title moves up.
What's up, Pluggo?
And that
Dennis and
title
Pluggo, come
is
save
here.
us.
I thought that was for the next replica title you're about to buy from WWE Shop.
Yeah, I was just looking. I think they're $19.95 plus shipping, so we can score one for everyone.
You're only $100? Really?
No, 20. I think that's the kid size right there.
I don't think anything WWE is really that much in demand these days. But
What up, Pluggo?
Buying it all. What are you talking
Don't worry, I'll buy you a lily doll, Drew, and I'll send it to you.
oh please, that I will burn. I'll do that live on this friggin' show. I will burn that. Probably
Well, that's
then
if
come
you
back
make
and
it through. That's if you make it through Saturday, because little boy with big britches at the head of the table had to make a dumb stipulation in that match.
Yes. I don't know if everybody has even heard about it, so I am going to officially announce it again here. This Saturday, SummerSlam, a blockbuster pay-per-view needs a blockbuster stipulation. I have announced loser leaves town. I am so confident that I'm going to beat this coward of yours who decides never to show up, never to promo with me, never to talk to me. I don't know what they look like. I don't know their name. I know nothing about them. And they tell me to shh. But yet, I know nothing. I hear nothing. I see nothing.
By the way, I'm taking the full screen, so just bear with me 1 second, guys. I got a text message from my friend literally 10 minutes after you said all that shit. And I'm not going to lie, he's pissed off. He is very cripply shy, and you want to poke the bear. So when he's saying shh, he's listening, It's just a foregone conclusion to give you a heads up, Drew, that he is literally listening to everything. He's been one of the supporters outside of this whole thing for me in my life. He's been very helpful with a lot of stuff, especially with my mom and everything. And you're calling somebody a coward. Now, I'm going to say this because I've said this to a few people. I need to say it. Like I said, I'm going to be the conduit for him because he doesn't want me to say a word. I'm going to do it anyways. There's a word that basically is said. Sometimes not saying anything is the best course of action when you want to say everything badly. Just put that in your head. Because when SummerSlam hits, bud, I'm not going to be there to say stipulations gone. I'm not going to say that to my friend about any of that. This is supposed to be fun. As much as we cut promos and stuff like that to him, he's upset. So just for the being that, that's what he wanted me to tell you. He was trying to have fun with all this stuff now. Now he wants to beat you. And all these picks he was doing for fun, no, he's taking this shit serious. So whoever's after him, whether it's you or Maggie or whoever afterwards, I'm sorry. He said he's done. So we'll keep going and doing what we usually do.
Well,
but
I'm going to make this easy for Drew and your silent friend. It doesn't matter who wins this matchup. They are just a foregone conclusion. They can tie for all I care. They can have to make 800 more stipulations for all I care. At the end of the day, all these two guys are stepping stones to my way to greatness. I'm not going to rip off any past wrestler. I'm not going to wear anybody's merch. Just listen and listen closely, kids. You're playing my game now. You're in my dojo.
Oh, let me hear you say the head of the kiddie table like 1,000 people have. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm not going to because I spent $0 on glasses and a shirt in every promo I do, his catchphrases. So even though a year ago you probably hated the guy, you're like, oh, Roman Reigns being put down my throat. Now you're buying all of his merch like he's the greatest thing ever. At the end of the day, you will be sitting there watching me hold that belt.
Hey, Pluggo, if you're still around, you can hop on before you do your stuff too. But anyways, for me, though, it's just I don't like having somebody who has that affliction where he's just doing this for fun, and it's now getting to the point for him where it's too serious. Now he's taking it serious. He never takes anything serious.
Good.
I'm glad.
He needs to take this serious.
And you know what? I actually agree with Dennis Farrell.
Yes, he needs to take this serious. What's your friend's name? What's your friend? I'm going to address him. What's his name?
I'm not telling you his name. He doesn't want to be known.
Well, listen, baby bear. I'm sorry that you have this affliction, but you know what? You put your big boy pants on. You got to run with the big boys. This right here, hopefully one day you'll get to sit down and say, hey, I ran with greatness for a half a second. But at the end of the day, you will watch me as well carry that belt. So you can take this serious all you want. It's still not going to help your case in the future.
Well, well, at least this is going to be heating up, especially. And plus, next month we have a triple threat match going on and stuff. So let's just keep going and stuff like that. Punk going to possibly AEW first thing tomorrow night. He put out a picture stating 5/11/21. Does Punk show up tomorrow? Yes or no?
No, I don't think on Rampage he does. Too big of a name on a B show. And I know they're trying to push it and they're trying to make it feel like an A show, but it just would be wasted on that show.
I think he's teasing everybody.
Yeah, if he was going to show up on Rampage, it would be the first episode. It's not going to be the second episode.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If they want him to show up tomorrow in Chicago, they want him for All Out. I think it's better to have him debut at All Out in his hometown during All Out after a show. Like, I don't know, confront somebody. Like, if it's Darby Allin, okay, Darby Allin. If it's somebody else, like Omega, because I think Omega is going to win at All Out over Christian. If it's something like that, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he'll debut. Like, Like everybody's like majority of people are convinced he's going to debut tomorrow. I think he's teasing. I just think he's teasing everybody.
Well, what
I-
about AEW? AEW teasing everybody too.
AEW does tease a lot. These AEW does tease.
Why wouldn't you? They sold the show out just off the hopes of a guy showing up, and I tease it
Yeah.
too. But
I could
this
see
is not-
WWE doing something like that because they actually have done something like that before.
They
But
don't
I don't know.
tease. They don't tease. WWE doesn't
Yeah,
tease.
but
The superstars
remember-
don't
No,
tease.
WWE
Right before-
plans it, and then right before the show starts, 1 minute before they rewrite it, even though the person's
Yeah.
sitting right there. waiting
No,
to
but
go on.
not even that. Before the pandemic, there was a show that Undertaker was supposed to be at, and he was advertised for, and then he wasn't there, and they never said anything to anybody about him not being there.
So they did it last week with Charlotte when she showed up in Mexico. She was still advertised for the house show, and she never showed.
card subject to change, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why I write on every schedule.
House shows are always like that.
Well, the card changed, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't announced that it was
Yeah.
changed.
For me though, the dates on there kind of are significant. It is Friday night. It is Rampage. It would be, if you arrange the numbers, it would be 11/05/21. That is a Friday night, and that's the first Friday in November. So I don't know if they're going to be doing it in Chicago at that point. Who knows? But I mean, that could be an idea where he just pops in and just makes an appearance and doesn't do anything. He just stands there and turns around and walks out or something.
I have a lot more faith in AEW right now to actually do or to actually follow through what they say they're going to do. I have no faith in WWE at this point to do that. But and I'm not anti WWE as much as that might seem like it at the moment on my Twitter. But it's really just that in the short time span that AEW has existed, I have not been let down by anything. They haven't continued the tired wrestling tropes that WWE have done for 20 plus years. They don't do DQs 4 times in a night. They don't say they're going to do something and then bait and switch you and then do something completely different like they did with Sasha and Bayley a few months back last year. It's just it's a new promotion, but they seem to understand what it is that the fans who are watching. You notice when you're watching AEW, the fans in the building are actually excited to be there. They're actually there to watch the show and participate in the way that wrestling fans should be participating on television. They boo heels. They cheer faces. If Kevin Owens was in AEW as a heel, he would be getting booed because he would actually be doing heelish things that actually matter and are right with his character. He's not going to be doing stupid segments where he's going to end up being the most over thing on the show and getting cheered because he's the most over thing on the show, like he was doing in WWE as a heel. So I think that Punk shows up tomorrow because, yeah, it's the B show, it's the SmackDown to Raw, but it's in Chicago. Punk seems to be okay now with the wrestling atmosphere, unlike a few years ago when he said he was never coming back. I think because it's at the United Center, it's in Chicago. Even Tony Khan tweeted today, a few hours ago, that there's an announcement tomorrow, a special announcement that's going to make new fans and welcome dormant wrestling households worldwide back into the fold. You can't say stuff like that and tease all these Punk things if Punk's not going to show up.
When was it? He did something, and I can't remember when. It might have been 3 or 4 months ago, where he was like talking about how he's got this huge signing and it's going to change wrestling industry, and it turned out to be somebody. And we're all like, "What?" So I mean,
It was Kristen. It was Kristen, wasn't it?
yes.
Like no,
I
With a
think
big
it was.
show or Christian.
Yeah.
that was at a pay-per-view Revolution, I think, in February.
Now, don't get me wrong, Christian's great, but when
Yeah.
you start using words like that and you tease that, that's a bit of a red flag. So maybe and look, I like AEW. I'm a huge fan of what they're doing, but Tony Khan is 0 for 1 with game-changing announcements. So let's
Yeah, he's a hyperbole. He tends to be hyperbolic, Tony Khan, with his stuff. You know, he tends to be.
I can see that.
See, they kind of have to deliver on this tomorrow. Really, if they don't, this is gonna be maybe the first major misstep the AEW has done in terms of hyping up a show.
now the only way around this, I think, is instead of having them come out, you play a video package. You have Cult of Personality start playing. You have
Yeah.
a video package, and you can get away with that. You somewhat deliver. You show CM Punk, everybody goes nuts. And at the bottom, on Dynamite blank date or whatever his next appearance will be, and that might be their way around it. And does it count as him showing up? Nope. But does it give everybody what they want? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them that name, and it gives them, as much as they joke around in WWE, ratings don't mean matter. It bumps AEW's numbers for that night because of and every night going forward, because everybody's going to be curious, when is Punk actually going to be there? And if they do it and they pull that trigger tomorrow night, I'm probably going to guarantee, didn't they, for numbers, for ratings, they did almost 800,000 views on last Friday.
A little bit above that.
All right,
It would make sense. Yeah.
I would guarantee they would hit 1 million.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I would flip over from SmackDown immediately.
I'm looking forward to that more than SmackDown.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah, a little
What's going on, everybody?
not much. I gotta lower your mic. Your mic's too loud.
Hey, guys, listen. All right, hold on for a minute. Hold on. Jed's
I got
flying
it,
over
I
too.
got
I
it.
gotta cut my mic for a minute. Hold on.
He lives in Virginia.
That makes sense.
Yes, I do. I live next to the world's largest Navy base. So how is everybody doing?
Pretty good. Still keep going, but they'll hit it easy.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Punk, and even if they bring Bryan Danielson out at the same time, I mean, people would just lose their crap. It would be the equivalent to the NWO starting up with Hall and Nash.
Well, that's a mistake because you were essentially stealing a pop from Bryan Danielson. What's meant to be a CM Punk moment, then you're stealing it. I think, ratings, you have Punk come out, have his thing, and then you start teasing Bryan Danielson for a little bit later. You don't need to put him out on the same show. You don't need to rush him back even in the same month. You have so much talent right there. It almost would be a detriment to both these guys because you're going to try to build these two guys up at the same time while trying to build up everybody on your roster. Ease these guys into rivalries, feuds, and make them feel meaningful, but at the same time, not burying the talent you have there already.
Well, where do you see his match going, guys? We'll start with Jim first, considering he's lean with it, rock with it right there.
What was the question?
Where do you see Punk's first match going in AEW?
I've tried to rack my brain on what would make the most sense, and I can't give you a specific, but I know people would want to see someone of his quality or caliber end up in the title scene immediately, but I think they've built up too much talent to throw him out there. I forget who said it about 10 minutes ago. The Darby Allin twist actually could be interesting. I think like Dennis was just saying too, it would be bad to put him and Bryan Danielson together immediately. I think a match between them at some point would be amazing to see in the ring, but yeah, putting them together in the beginning would be silly and a waste. So honestly, I have no idea where it would make the most sense, but I think that. Sorry, I got a bunch of messages coming in here. I think that you don't even have to put him in the ring in a match for the first 30 days. You just have to just kind of feel it out. But I'm sure they have a plan in place. But I honestly have no idea. I've tried to rack my brain on this one.
What about you, Aaron?
Well, with the Darby thing, I think the AEW does a good job with heel versus heel, face versus face. So I think with the Darby Allin thing, I think it could work with face versus face. What I would like to see, possibly, a great strong story with maybe Miro for the TNT title with CM Punk. And I wouldn't put CM Punk in the main title picture yet, but maybe have him in the title picture with Miro, maybe, or maybe MJF, something like that. I don't know. Like,
I mean,
Well,
what do you?
one thing I did want to mention too about for tomorrow, I've seen a lot like people say that the biggest like heat that MJF could get is coming out of the Cult of Personality tomorrow. So I feel like that could potentially be something that happens, just because MJF is a fucking heat magnet. So that I could see happening if Punk, if maybe they just do like what Dennis said and there's just a video package or something. I could see them doing something like that just to get nuclear heat on MJF. But in to answer that question, I also was thinking the Darby Allin thing too. All Out, maybe they do Darby and Punk. But I mean, the best thing right now is that it can go any way. It can be anyone, and we don't really know for sure where it's going to go. Sometimes things predictable is a good thing, or you know, it's okay for something to be predictable. But this is totally unpredictable, and I love that.
What about you, Tim?
Personally, anything can be and will be possible, guaranteeing. The way I look at it, I just see that I hope these two guys got a better opportunity in AEW versus WWE, personally. But anything is possible. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just break this down to y'all. I had a phone issue with this thing I'm on now. My mobile phone the mobile data on my phone completely was gone. So I'm like hooked up to where I'm at now through the Wi-Fi. So just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get a new phone as we speak.
That's cool, man. Don't worry about it. But other than that, we've got a lot of good stuff coming up too.
Hang on, guys. We'll break it down from this point of view. Darby Allin losing to CM Punk hurts Darby Allin's credit so much since he just got squashed by Miro, and he kind of got his butt kicked a little bit, even though he came out on top against Ethan Page. He got his butt kicked at the end of the day there. He hasn't really done anything quite meaningful since the Miro thing, and a loss would hurt him. A loss to CM Punk losing to Darby Allin would kill CM Punk right off the gates. So you have to look at talent that can take a loss. The only talent on this roster that's top tier that can take a loss to CM Punk and not hurt him, Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else on that roster, if they lose a CM Punk in the position they are in, it sets them back. Same thing with MJF. If MJF loses a CM Punk, MJF starts back at 0. It doesn't help MJF going forward. MJF just took out Chris Jericho by submission, and his meter moved just a little bit. Not saying, it's bad, but MJF's just so hard because he's his own worst enemy because he's so good. And to lose a Daniel Bryan, to lose to a CM Punk right out the gate is not going to help him. Same thing with Darby Allin. I would keep my young up-and-coming talent so far away from those two guys right out the gate. That way he doesn't set them back. These guys need to come out and face someone that can take a loss. If Miro loses to Daniel Bryanson, I don't think it would hurt Miro.
I agree.
I think it would hurt Miro if he lost to CM Punk a little bit because Punk hasn't been in the ring in 10 years. So Punk needs to come in. I think Jon Moxley, they would tear it up, and Moxley can lose and still be John Moxley.
But would you put Christian in that situation, considering there is a history of them facing each other?
No, because then we make fun of them the same reason we make fun of WWE. We have a bunch of 40-year-old guys fighting for a championship now.
I think Punk in the past has spoke highly of the members of the Shield when he was around, when the Shield was just starting. He spoke highly about the members of Shield. I think Moxley and Reigns and Rollins. So I think Moxley's a good starting point. I think that's a good idea.
That would also lend credence to Moxley's promo last night, which he was referencing Daniel Garcia by name, but it also kind of seemed like he was talking about something else. So Daniel Garcia for Friday, fine. And I don't remember what the words were in the promo, but I do remember that I felt, and a lot of people I saw too, felt that like, okay, he's talking about Daniel Garcia, but he's also talking about somebody bigger or something bigger. So Dennis could actually be very right on that. And because I heard that the person from New Japan that was supposed to face Moxley, whose name is escaping me right now.
Hashi?
Yeah. He
just won the US. He just won the title from Lance Archer. Yeah.
He is going to have a match in Japan the day before All Out. So it turns out that he may not actually be able to. They might not be able to have that match. So CM Punk coming in, lending to Dennis's point, they could have the match at All Out.
And I'm not saying the young guy shouldn't wrestle him eventually. I'm just saying right out the gate, you bring a new guy in, keep your young talent away from these established guys for the time being. Build everybody up and build up the excitement. I'm sorry. I don't want to see Punk versus MJF right out the bat. I want to see a year-long feud, promos going back and forth. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Darby Allin right away, because I want to see a build-up to these guys.
I mean, for me, it makes more sense. I'm not heavily into AEW, but with Punk coming back, and I'm a huge Punk fan, I'm more interested to see what they do with specifically him. Like the saying goes, people will pop in and out on certain things they'll watch and everything, but I might just see if they say, hey, Punk's going to be on, it'll probably I'll probably end up seeing more AEW stuff than WWE right now. And which is sad, because I've grew up on all the WWE stuff since I was like 4 years old. So, I mean, 36 years, it kind of says itself. Mm-hmm. But we're going to pivot off of that and go towards SummerSlam. What is going to be the match of the night for SummerSlam? What's up, Evan?
Either Edge versus Seth or Bianca versus Sasha.
I'm gonna say Edge versus Seth. That's gonna be the match that steals the night. I know Dennis is gonna agree. I have a feel. I see his face.
See, that's tough.
The two of them are just gonna be so beautiful in the ring.
You know what? I'm gonna go something different and off the wall. And it's not an exciting match. It's not something everybody's looking forward to, but it's two guys that need to prove something. Give me Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre. I think with Jinder coming back, and he's got a lot to prove.
I think he's going to win.
People call him the worst champion. I thought his title reign was great because it really made us feel like anybody can win it at any time. I really feel like he has a lot to prove, being injury prone, coming back, and Seth has been just delivering great matches left and right. I think this is my sleeper match of the night.
I think he's going to win. I think he's going to beat Drew. He's one of my wildcard picks of him beating Drew.
There's a storyline with either direction, so it's possible.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Seth. Not just his killing in matches, but Seth's promos of late against Edge has been fire, man. It's been on point. And he even admitted today that he writes his own promos. They're not scripted.
I mean, for me, the match of the night, as much as as corny as it sounds, I think the Eva Marie and Alexa match. Now everybody's gonna be like, "Why?"
Yeah.
There's certain things I've been reading recently that they might actually unveil the Lily part of that whole triad or whatever you want to call it is. And if they actually pull the trigger on that, that's the only reason why I'm more intrigued to watch that. But for me, overall, for belt to belt match, it's definitely going to be Seth and Edge, which is going to be really good.
Can Eva Marie even wrestle? I mean, like,
If
there's
she's
nothing against her because it's a hard job.
I watched,
but like she can't even wrestle.
Slow. I watched her matches against Bailey in NXT like 5 years ago. She's not the greatest, but if you put her in with a good ring general, she's decent. Like Bailey. Something like that.
I don't even think she's going to be the one wrestling. I think Doudrop's the one.
Yeah, I agree there too. But here's somebody like Bailey. Bailey can almost make anybody look good in the ring.
Now, the other question that goes with the SummerSlam with these matches is that WWE just trademarked the man for merchandise purposes. Is with that being said, and I said this on Jesse Davin and Steven Jenkins' show earlier on their prediction show for SummerSlam and TakeOver, does that seem to you guys like Becky is coming back soon, real soon, or latter half of the year? Because to me, that could be an indication that Sasha wins on Saturday, which will set up something like a triple threat match down the line for one of the major pay-per-views, whether it's, Night of Champions. I know it's not a major one, but something where it draws eyes, like Becky just standing out there like Ronda and both of them just in shock.
I don't
Becky's
know.
coming back, but...
Yeah, it's tough because both parents are going to be on the road wrestling, and there's going to be nobody there to raise the kid. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, they probably have a nanny and can get away from it, or take the baby on the road, depending. I don't know the exact age of it.
I think that they wouldn't do that.
I think we're still a little ways away from seeing her come back, and I'm okay with that.
I think
the longer she's gone, the better the build-up.
I think the one possibly for
because that was the birth of the man. I mean,
that's
where it all started. Was the whole Survivor Series? Well, the SmackDown pre-show, or the previous show. That's like where the whole concept came about. So why not build it to that?
I think maybe possibly the draft, or the Fox premiere, like not season 3 of Fox. When I think it'll be like the third season premiere of Fox in October, maybe then, or maybe the draft. Maybe, because technically she's a free agent right now, right? She is a free agent right now, and by the time the draft comes on, she technically, I guess she could still be a free agent at the draft if she doesn't get drafted. But I don't know.
I think they'll put her in that Cena aspect where she can go either way, but mostly she'll be predominant SmackDown because
she is coming back. There's evidence she's coming back soon. We just don't win, which by her getting back into shape. We know she's coming back probably very soon.
I wouldn't be surprised that WWE did the Edge route and gave her their own personal ring just to work out on, even though they have their own ring in their school. But I think it might be part-time. I think personally with everything going on, they'll probably have Seth go full-time, and then they'll have her part-time, but she'll travel with Seth with the baby and stuff like that. So, like, one show, she'll be on the show and Seth won't be on the show. WWE seems like that type of company where they're willing to work back and forth with both people, especially with their caliber of talent.
I thought she signed a new contract in March.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think she did sign one recently. And I would love to see them eventually like work together on screen, but I hope they don't do it anytime soon because I absolutely love this terrible character Seth is playing right now with the different suits every week.
Best work.
Seth, I read an interview that Seth said, and he stated that Becky's character is considered a loner, and him doing his own thing is separate. And both of them should never interject into each other's lives ever again after that whole commotion on Raw, because it didn't work. Yeah. Like, she's better off being the man, the loner type of character, like the lone wolf kind of aspect of it, whereas he's the one that he wants everybody to give the attention to.
Their characters don't work together. They don't work together.
No, they don't. And when they were together on screen, it was when Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans were teaming with them. It was like, what the hell?
It was.
By the way, Lacey Evans is supposed to come back at some point.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what happens. I mean, and then we've got TakeOver coming up too. So, Cole, I asked this Dennis last week, staying or going? What do you think?
Gone.
Where does he land?
AEW. Let's come on. That's where all of his buddies are. I think this is a no-brainer. He's smart. Milk the WWE for a couple paychecks on the way out. I do the same thing. Why does Adam Cole need to rush to AEW right now? Daniel Bryanson, CM Punk. You have so much talent there, and I'm worried about this, guys, because this is the same problem WWE. This is the same thing WWE ran into several years ago when they had the greatest roster ever assembled in all of wrestling, from NXT to SmackDown. And you got to have jobbers. Not every person can be a top guy, and it hurts people's credibility. So I'm a little bit worried over how much talent AEW is assembling here, because I think they're going to become their own worst enemy, where, now you're going to have Adam Cole or somebody job when, it doesn't make sense, or, I think it's going to hurt the roster eventually, because too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
If Adam Cole was going to jump to AEW, he would have to wait until all the smoke from Punk and Bryan die down. Because I think if he came in during this next 3 months, as this happening, it's just going to be an afterthought. I don't think
most likely,
if he did, he'd have to wait.
Most likely, Buddy Murphy might be popping up soon, and taking the steam away from him kind of sucks. But I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I think that if Cole decides to step away, he might step away for a little while, but he definitely won't come to AEW meetings, because Bryan and Punk are going to take all the smoke away from him.
What about you, Evan? Where do you think they go? He's just stoic right there, I guess. Okay.
He froze?
Yeah, probably froze. For me, though, I think if he goes, I don't think he goes straight like you guys said. I think he ends up in New Japan for a couple of matches. There's so much stuff you could do there in New Japan for him.
Well, actually, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I didn't even think about that. He could, by proxy, go to AEW by being involved with New Japan. So he could go to New Japan, be in New Japan for a while, do stuff with the Bullet Club there, and then when they eventually do the Elite versus the Bullet Club, he could be a part of New Japan and be involved in that. So he could still be in AEW like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are AEW, but Impact. But he could be NJPW and AEW.
Yeah.
Did anything leak about his meeting with Vince?
No.
It's just that they're talking about if he goes to the main roster for War SmackDown plans. That's it.
Evan, Cole going. What was that?
Did I miss the Adam Cole talk? Is my mic shit?
Yeah,
no,
your
we're still
mic's
talking
good.
about it. Yeah, it's fine. We're still talking about it now.
Oh,
Staying or going?
Any better?
Yeah, you're good. Staying or going?
Oh,
Cole.
He's going. He's going 100%. He's got way too many stories to tell. He's done in NXT. He's done. It should be a loser leaves town match. He should be gone, and he's got New Japan stories to tell. He's got AEW stories to tell, and he's got Ring of Honor stories to tell. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are back together.
I mean, for me though,
what else does he have to accomplish? Does he bet on his WWE main roster room?
I think for me, he ends up in New Japan. There's a lot of more matches, more fresher matches. With AEW, he can give him a little more time, and he'll have a lot of extremely interesting stories. There's people picking up saying, hey, if Bobby Fish signs with AEW, they could set up something like what they did with Undisputed Era when, O'Reilly and Strong's contracts are done and stuff like that. And then you could have the Elite versus this. I think Cole, for now, with everything going on, for me, it's like him going, it would be New Japan. If he stays, I think he ends up in the main roster. And I honestly think if they were smart enough just to give somebody for Lashley, somebody strong, like Lashley, like a strong competitor, I think you put Cole right in that spot, like they did with Balor with the Universal title, and it makes perfect sense because Cole has that athleticism that can match, Lashley, but Lashley's like that bull, that strong one. It would be like, it's kind of hard to say. It could be like how Vader was with Michaels when Michaels first started and stuff. So, I mean, that could be an idea. I mean, there's so many ways you can have this goes, and it just depends on which way you want to make it work. So, I mean, that's one. I think the match of the night, honestly, is going to most likely be O'Reilly and Cole, though. But I think if O'Reilly wins, people are saying put him in the title match, no matter whoever wins between Cross and Joe. I think if Cross wins, you end up throwing Joe to O'Reilly, because then that will be the stepping stone for O'Reilly or Joe to get towards Cross again and let them go at it. But it all depends on there. But who do you guys see coming out the NXT champion, and who's the next challenger? Like, if Cross drops the belt, who is after Joe? If Joe has it, is Joe's next opponent?
They work too hard to build Cross up. I think Joe is just going to be a guy to make him look even stronger. He owns NXT right now, and I like it. I think this isn't going to be the end, though. I think this is going to be one of these things that's going to be in the summer between Cross and Joe.
Do you think it gets to the next takeover that is possibly scheduled before the November for October?
I could see a couple matches in between with other people, but yes, I can see them coming back for Cross Joe Part 2.
All right. Do you think Cross gets into the King of the Ring tournament in some way, shape, or form?
I hope not.
All right.
Cross.
Hey, it would be interesting, though. I mean, Xavier Woods is pushing for that spot for King of the Ring. I would love to see King
but
Xavier.
No disrespect to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods is not. It's not going to get him to the next level. Xavier Woods is more of a mid card. I like when the King of the Ring actually meant something. Like when you won King of the Ring, it gets you to the next level. No, not every superstar in the past won King of the Ring got to the next level, guys. But was a huge stepping stone to almost the main event status for most superstars. Xavier Woods, to me, is a good in-ring performer. He's good at what he does, but he's not a main eventer.
Where do you think it goes, Drew?
Well, I probably watch NXT the least out of everybody in this group. But like I've been saying, I first of all, I don't know what other people's opinions are of Cross, but
boring. He got boring real quick.
He got boring. I didn't really like him at first anyway. So I just, aside from all the other things, so I don't really care about him. They dorked him out on the main roster already with the Jeff Hardy shit. And I kind of I don't care about him at all. So I would much rather Joe have the title than Cross, obviously. So Cross can go and be a 24/7 father person for the main roster. And I think probably, we've been talking about the past couple of shows, probably what ends up happening is, what they should do is have a big heel come in, like who they've been building so far. Well, I mean, is Swerve Scott, is he a heel or face?
He's a face again. He's a baby face.
Another baby face?
Because he's with Santos, because they're feuding with that Santos Escobar's group now.
Santos Escobar was my other option. Like, he's somebody that he had the Cruiserweight title for a while, but they obviously, as has been reported, they don't care how, they don't have weight classes anymore, even though they're 205 Live.
Yeah.
So Santos Escobar going for the NXT title?
Sure. No, he's not. But yeah, like I agree with you. I think Santos Escobar is bigger. Well, he's going after the North American title now, so at least that's a.
So I wanted to say this real quick. Dennis had to pop off. He had to go get ready for his stuff. So I'm gonna plug all his things. Go check out Wrestling Perspective. They have their stuff going on tonight too, or you can tweet them out at Undisputed. I'm so tired today. It's been one of them days. Undisputed DPF on Twitter, and then you could hit up WP_pods for Wrestling Perspective. Go check out their stuff out. It's really good too. And also, if Tim's just bounced, check out Tim Trevor. At Tim Trevor. But I mean, it's going to be a great weekend. We've got a lot of stuff to go on, but we've also got some here comes Tim again. Some preseason, some football and stuff like that. Other than wrestling this weekend, what are other things you guys are looking forward to? Because I figured we'd talk about other things a little bit too.
Well, I've got to help a friend move some boxes, and then I've got to put together the gender reveal that I found out today. So I got to go make some cupcakes in different colors. That's my weekend.
Watch sports.
I gotta, other than work, I get to hang out with my amazing girlfriend. And then what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna be shipping Sean Ross Sapp stuff because I'm getting tired of being ragged on about that stuff. But I think with everything, especially right now, what I could tell is that the Pats are winning right now. It's still a shutout. But I think for most of all, for the weekend, everybody should just have fun. I'm going to cut the shows short or a little bit earlier than usual just because, I'm exhausted. I got called in and I'm tired. Let's be honest about that stuff. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a lot of good people today. We had the head of the table literally, chomping at the bit, which is good. We got Nazi and Punk, Aaron Entertainment, Sloan, and the return of the dirtiest heel in the game, who I wish he never dropped out of this godforsaken tournament, Tim Trevor, back on screen. So, like I said, with the announcement, sad to say, Ray Callahan is out of the tournament. And then Rob Wilkins will be facing at Bound for Glory, Dennis Farrell. So now we just wait on the other two matches of this week, and we just go from there. So since we're cutting this early, and now the other thing I was going to say is we will be posting these episodes on Anchor within 24 hours of this. So if you ever want to catch any of this stuff, we do have an Anchor channel. It's Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, and just you'll be listening to the show literally after they air. So other than that, Sloanzilla, tell them where they can find you, my friend.
So you can follow me on Twitter, Sloanzilla5, or my podcast, which is Because We Want To, the number 2. And then we're on Anchor, Google, Apple, you name it, we're on it. So check us out there. We don't talk about wrestling because my co-host's not into wrestling, but we talk about small business, life. We have a little fun, so you can check us out there.
And very soon, hopefully, I can hop on and we'll talk about this tournament and stuff like that. Well, we got to plan that out.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we do.
Aaron, tell them where they can find you, Mr. Multi-Show Talent.
You can find me on my YouTube channel. It's actually now AWO Aaron Ward Order. I had to change it to be more like or some of my newer videos are more heel-esque like, more not nice like. So yeah, follow me on YouTube. And follow me on Twitter, whatever. Just do it.
Just do it. All right, Drew, tell them where they can find you.
I do not work for KXIC anymore. So now you can just find all my opinions on wrestling at Big Money Drew on Twitter, the best and worst place to be. And for those who are going to be listening to this on Anchor, let me tell you something. You're going to want to pull this up on YouTube or Twitch, because next Thursday, I'm going to have the victory lap of a lifetime.
With new items from WWEshop.com.
All right. And for the return of the dirtiest heel of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, welcome back, Tim. Tell them where they can find you, my friend.
Nope.
Okay, guys, you can follow me on Twitter. It's the same as it always been. You can also follow me on Facebook. I just want to give y'all a quick update. Ankle in 3 weeks, and I'm starting to feel a lot better now. I'm starting able to walk.
Gotta love that internet.
Yeah.
That Virginia internet.
Virginia needs some 5G.
I was able to be in, due to what happened. I can't. Y'all still hear me?
A little bit.
I
It's
get-
kind of
little
in and
bit.
out. Yeah.
Very in and out.
It's because of the Wi-Fi system where I'm staying at. That's the reason. Yeah, it's because of the Wi-Fi system I'm staying at. That's the only reason why. I do apologize for y'all. But yes, I do have 3 metal rods in it, and one of the metal rods was facing all the way out past 15 degrees, which it was literally, so it was really like showing. It was getting ready to show on out in the skin. Friday yeah, it's terrible. Believe me, in a month, and I'm scheduled out of my rehab to March 10th, which would be literally like 3 days after my birthday.
Tim,
So
I feel bad that
I'll get the
we
giggle
couldn't
back.
hear what he could say, but I also kind of am happy that I didn't hear it because it sounded gross.
Yeah.
Tim, because your internet's going out, we're gonna cut it short. But just know we're thinking about you, man, and hopefully you get better. You know, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. We have the triple threat coming up in this tournament next month. We've got so many good things. People moving on into this. Go check out inside on the channel. Go and there's a new tab on there for on there. Check out amazing videos. Stuff that I think are really cool. I was on Behind with Spencer Love. Go check that out. Go check out Fightful, Love Wrestling. Go support those guys. Check out Steven Jensen on the Weekender. Go check out Pluggo and everybody else. What they do. Check out what these guys do also. Other than that, do a good deed, pay it forward. Speaking of Love Wrestling, we are going to raid them, show some Pluggo and JPJ some love. Other than that, guys, have a good night.